Hey, what's going on? Luke here. It's week 2 of the 2023 NRL Finals. Apologies for my voice sounds weird. I've been quite sick. I meant to do last week's finals tips and predictions, but I couldn't do it because I was sick. But we are here to do week 2. The games obviously are the Storm up against the Roosters and then the Warriors up against the Knights. Now, just before we get into the tips and predictions, I'd just like to mention if you happen to enjoy this video and go on to enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We've hit 15,000 subscribers, then obviously I haven't really uploaded much because I got sick, but we are on the road to 20k, so definitely go and subscribe. Give me a follow on social media, seeing it on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke on YT for everything. Give me a follow, give me an ad, and now we can go ahead and take a look at the first game of Finals Week 2 2023, which sees the Melbourne Storm taking on the Sydney Roosters. Obviously, the Storm lost in dramatic fashion last week. Ryan Papenhuyzen literally getting obliterated. His ankle, I mean, it's not career ending, but it's definitely not good. But by the time that it happened, the game was well and truly over. One of the worst performances I've ever seen from the Storm in a finals game. It feels like we've been saying that quite a bit about the Storm of recent years, about just like talking about uncharacteristic performances by the Storm in finals games. And I don't know, I don't want to say it's down to there being no Cameron Smith, but the Harry Grant, Brandon Smith, whoever's ended up playing hooker at the time, they just haven't really been able to match anywhere near what Cameron Smith can do in the final series. And I think they've really missed it. Cameron Munster's sort of been missing, but this is the sort of game that I would expect the Melbourne Storm to really back up from and sort of hit back in pretty good fashion. The Roosters looking pretty poor, if I'm completely honest with you. Super lucky to get away with it last week. Looking at the lineup, Corey Allen and Momorowski in the centres, Jackson Paulo, you got Powger on the wing as well. It's a lackluster backline. They do look a lot better for me with Sam Walker in the halves. Kind of makes you question why he wasn't there earlier in the season and why he sort of got dropped. But look, like the 4-pack's decent. I really like Wong in the back row, but everything kind of screams to me that this should be a Storm win and the Storm should hit back. But you just never know with the Melbourne Storm, just how they've been so inconsistent. I mean, you can say the exact same thing about the Roosters, but I mean, like if these two had met in the grand final at the start of the year, you would have been like, yeah, no, I can see that. But two very lackluster sides in 2023. To me, kind of just making up the numbers at this point. The Storm on their day can be really good, but I just don't see them as a premiership threat. When Papenhuyzen was sort of on his way back, I sort of looked at them as that, but they got well and truly smacked last week. It was pretty embarrassing if you're a Storm supporter. But look, they have a chance to hit back, and I'm sure that they will. I think the Roosters kind of really making up the numbers at this point, so I'm expecting a 13+ win for the Melbourne Storm. Don't really have too much to go by. I mean, like, obviously, the Melbourne Storm were playing this game because they lost, and there's going to go for the second game as well with the Warriors. They're in this game because they lost, so you can't really talk too much about the previous week. But yeah, definitely an uncharacteristic performance from the Melbourne Storm, that's for sure. And I can't really see too much from the Roosters, where like they got away with it last week, but it was a poor game. I don't care what anyone says, it was a poor game. I know it was close, but just because it's close doesn't mean it's a good game. And I know a lot of people say it's a good game, but for me it wasn't. I thought it was quite shit. And Roosters got away with it essentially. Whereas Storm, they have something to prove. They're going to hit back, in my opinion, and they're going to get the win. Moving on to the second game, the New Zealand Warriors taking on the red-hot Newcastle Knights, who weren't exactly red-hot last week. Again, another side who was super lucky, went into extra time. Bit of a controversial call, not controversial, but they got a penalty goal to win the game. It wasn't like some crazy, game-winning moment, whatever. It's just like a pretty generic penalty, high shot where they ended up sort of just kicking the goal, and then they sort of held on. The Warriors didn't look great, but they didn't look great for a reason, as opposed to the Storm, who just were crap. The Warriors didn't look great because they were missing their main man, Sean Johnson, who's been the absolute star throughout the whole season. And I think him coming back into the side, I think it'll be massive for them. And also them playing at home, I think is going to be massive for them as well. I think just in general, everything kind of screams to me that this is going to be a Warriors win, but at the same time, the Knights have been so impressive as of late. So for that reason, it is very hard to actually tip against the Knights. But in saying that, I am going to tip against them. I think the run for the Knights is coming to an end. A home game for the Warriors. I mean, both of these sides aren't really like finals experience sides. The Warriors made the top 4, but they were a side that, to me and probably a lot of people, it was a shock that they were there. The Knights went on a run in the end, and they're definitely the form team of the comp at the moment in terms of wins in a row and that sort of stuff. But last week's performance didn't scream like a classy finals unit or anything like that. They conceded some pretty easy tries. The tries that the Raiders scored, most of them were just shitty errors by the Knights that at least kept them in the game. And obviously, at some points, it looked like the Knights were actually going to lose the game. Obviously, it didn't happen. They escaped with it. But that was with like a big packed out Knights stadium behind them. and they won by a penalty goal at the end. Whereas like the Warriors this week, they've got the home crowd behind them. They seem to be like a complete different side when they play at home, and Sean Johnson's in the side, so they're going to play completely different as well. For that reason, I'm going to go Sean Johnson and the Warriors to pick up a victory there. I think it is going to be a tight one. I think the Knights definitely push him. I just think maybe the experience won't be there. And, Adam Clune, Tyson Gamble. Adam Clune comes in. I think Hastings is a big loss. But at the same time, I think Clune is quite decent. And by no means do I think Jackson Hastings is an absolute superstar who can't be replaced for a game. I think Adam Clune is, he's well and truly good enough. But just in terms of like a finals game in New Zealand, it's going to be a tough ask for any team, let alone the Knights. And for that reason, 1-12 New Zealand Warriors. Now, only the 2 games in the final, so I'm going to keep this one nice and short. And obviously, my voice is pretty cooked. So, for that reason as well, we're going to keep it nice and short. But if you did happen to enjoy this one, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button. I'll save the whole shtick I did at the start of the video. Just leave a like and subscribe. You know you want to. More videos to come. And I actually will upload this time, even if I'm sick, I promise. Also, my social media is on the screen right now. You're seeing it. It's Mr. Luke and YT. Go ahead, give me a follow, give me an ad. Also, shout out to the members, especially the ones who are stuck solid, despite me not uploading much because I was sick. Super chatters as well, Techno. I appreciate you guys so much, especially in times like this where I have been quite ill. I haven't been able to upload and do too much content, so thank you for sticking with me. Anyways, going to wrap things up here. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more content on the channel, and look, I'll see you in the next one. See yous.